Welcome to MojoPlays. Today, we're looking at 10 real-life locations in Assassin's Creed games. It's like taking a walk through history.
I should get back to Phidias so he can decipher the message.
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. New York, Assassin's Creed 3. Since the founding of America, New York has dominated as the country's largest city and a major cultural, economic, and political hub. So, of course, it was going to be one of the main settings in Assassin's Creed 3's exploration of revolutionary America. Though this is Manhattan before it was dominated by skyscrapers, it's still a genuine and important piece of modern history and is extremely faithful to what the tip of Manhattan Island looked like in the late 18th century. You can even compare it side by side with contemporary maps. But for any New Yorkers who want something a little more familiar, one of AC3's present-day missions sees Desmond scaling a megastructure surrounded by high-rises. Jerusalem, Assassin's Creed. It's one of the first game's 3 major cities that Altair can explore, with the other 2 being Damascus, which remains the capital of modern Syria, and Acre. Jerusalem is one of the oldest cities in the world, and also one of the holiest sites of all 3 Abrahamic religions: Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. That's what makes it such a significant part of the game and world history. Some of the landmarks Altair can scale include the Dome of the Rock and the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Both of these are still standing in Jerusalem today, and are certainly more stunning in real life, but the game does do the significance of Jerusalem justice. The Arctic, Assassin's Creed Rogue. Up until Valhalla, Rogue was our only real example of what the Arctic Circle would look like in Assassin's Creed. Shay Cormac visits the Arctic in search of an Isu temple, and platforms through an icy landscape that was brand new to the series. Almost. One game earlier, Connor also explored parts of the Northwest Passage, encountering ships encased in ice just like Shay. In real life, the most famous wrecks like this were the HMS Erebus and the HMS Terror, which were trapped in sea ice during a voyage through the Northwest Passage in the 1840s. Connor visits the passage in the 1770s, hunting for Captain Kidd's lost treasure. While rumors exist that Kidd's former quartermaster Hendrik van der Heul did find the passage, there's no real evidence.
Hendrik van der Heul, Captain Kidd's quartermaster turned captain himself.
Paris, Assassin's Creed Unity. One of the most beautiful cities anywhere in the world, Paris and many of its major landmarks were wonderfully recreated in Assassin's Creed Unity. The game begins in the nearby village of Versailles, home to the famous palace, and quickly arrives in Paris itself, giving you a whistle-stop tour of the Bastille and the Notre Dame Cathedral. Other places Arnaud can see include the Place de la Concorde, where Louis XVI was executed, the Hôtel de Ville, where the revolutionary government convened, and the city's famous Grizzly Catacombs. The only drawback is that Paris's most famous monument, the Eiffel Tower, didn't exist in the 1790s when the game primarily takes place. So of course, they found a way to add a sojourn to World War II where Arnaud scales it. Statue of Zeus at Olympia, Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
The Temple of Zeus was home to the chryselephantine statue of Zeus, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world.
6 of the 7 wonders of the ancient world no longer exist, which is why Assassin's Creed has taken every opportunity to recreate them in its games set in antiquity. The statue of Zeus at Olympia is a vast, famous statue in Elis built by Phidias.
Fantastic. That's not a message. It's barely passable as a riddle.
It's obvious. The king of gods.
Zeus.
Yes.
It was constructed at some point during the 5th century BC. Interestingly, however, there's no clear historical record for how the statue was lost or even in which century, but it was certainly gone by the 5th, meaning it stood for around 900 years. When it appears in Odyssey, it's during the Peloponnesian War, and Phidias himself is still alive, so it's only just been constructed.
I should get back to Phidias so he can decipher the message.
Constantinople, Assassin's Creed Revelations. Ezio left Renaissance Italy behind for Constantinople, traveling the city only a few decades after it had fallen to the Ottoman Empire. Ezio needs to scour every inch of this legendary city to find the keys to access Altair's library. Some of the sights he sees include the Great Chain, one of the city's major defenses which he also destroys, Maiden's Tower, which still stands in Istanbul to this day, and of course, the Hagia Sophia. This grand church was originally a Christian structure, but the city's capture by the Ottomans meant it became a mosque. Today, it's Turkey's most famous landmark by a mile and one of the world's most beautiful buildings. Nassau, Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag. Still the capital and largest city in the Bahamas, Nassau was founded by the British but had developed into a pirate haven for many of Europe's dissatisfied privateers in just a few decades. There were many more pirates in Nassau than regular people in the 18th century, so many that it grew to be the pirate capital of the Americas. It's also where notorious fictional pirate Edward Kenway makes his base of operations in Black Flag, along with other famous faces like Blackbeard, Anne Bonnet, Mary Read, and James Kidd. Nassau is beautiful and dangerous in Black Flag, though many of its monuments, like the old fort of Nassau, are now in ruins. Monteriggioni, Assassin's Creed 2, and Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. The largest villa that the Auditore family calls home after being forced to flee Florence at the beginning of AC2 didn't actually exist, but the town it's situated in certainly does. Monteriggioni is a small, walled town in Tuscany that wasn't of much interest to tourists until it was chosen to be a major assassin stronghold in 2009. Investing in the town's business was a core mechanic of AC2, and in Brotherhood, it's still a vital part of the Brotherhood's operations despite the move to a larger hideout underneath the Tiber in Rome. Because of the game, Monteriggioni has seen a booming tourism industry develop, with AC fans coming from far and wide to see where Ezio's uncle Mario lived.
We need to hold them off until the townspeople have escaped.
I will take care of it.
Stonehenge, Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Have a look, Sunan.
It's one of the UK's oldest monuments and something most Valhalla players will be itching to lay their eyes upon. Though, unfortunately, it's in one of the game's highest level regions in the Kingdom of Wessex. Still, when you finally arrive, it will blow you away with the sheer size of the huge stones. In real life, Stonehenge is located in Wiltshire and can be visited year-round, and there's an exhibition dedicated to explaining the monument's Neolithic origins. Many things about Stonehenge are still mysterious, including precisely why it was constructed, and Valhalla's version of Britain would have been sorely lacking without it.
Strange energy here.
Giza, Assassin's Creed Origins. Of all the wonders of the ancient world, the only one still standing today is the Great Pyramid of Giza in the heart of the Giza Pyramid complex. The pyramids were already around 2,500 years old by the time Bayek explored them in Origins, but rendered in-game, their white limestone coating and golden tips are still intact, making them perhaps more beautiful than their real-life counterparts. Not only do you get to climb the pyramids, but you can also explore the ancient tombs within, and of course, the Great Sphinx is nearby as well, though it won't challenge you with a riddle. And if one ancient wonder isn't enough for you, if you head to Alexandria, you'll be able to see another masterfully restored, the Lighthouse of Alexandria. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.